Let me tell you guys something that I had to learn the hard way a few times. Time does not equal loyalty. Just because somebody's been in your life forever does not mean that they are meant to or deserve to stay there. You ever realize that you were the only one still fighting for something that stopped existing a long time ago? Yep, me too. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Rebuild Different. I'm Epiphany Paige, and today we're talking about one of the hardest and most human things that you can go through, which is letting people go. Letting people go is one of the hardest parts of healing. Not just friendships, but also romantic relationships. Because when you've known somebody for years, it feels like you're mourning a version of who you thought that they were. I've been there, having to cry over somebody that is still very much alive. And it hurts. We tell ourselves that, we've known each other for so long, like time is supposed to equal loyalty. But it doesn't. Time doesn't equal loyalty. 10 years of knowing somebody does not equal 10 years of harmony. So there was somebody that I knew for almost 2 decades. We tried dating twice, like years in between. And every time it started getting real, he would retreat. And that's when I realized that some people are just wired for the chase and not the connection. They know how to win people, but not keep them. It's a pattern that I've seen with a lot of high achievers. They love the thrill of the pursuit, validation, the conquest. But once they have something real that requires vulnerability and nurturing and communication, they fumble it like Russell Wilson at the 1-yard line at the Super Bowl. You had it in your hands. All you needed to do was protect it, but you got greedy. I will say though, in that particular reference, since I'm a Pats fan, it worked out for me, and Russell Wilson was on the Seahawks at that time, so. And here's the thing, I kept trying to love the potential, the version of him that I once knew, instead of the reality of who he became. And that was a tough pill to swallow. And sometimes we hold on to the version of people who exist in our potential folder. You know that folder in your head where you keep all of the what he could be if he healed thoughts? Yeah, that one. And that's where I learned that nostalgia can be a trap. You can't keep showing up as your evolved self for someone who is still living in their unevolved season. Another story time. Then there was this girl that I was friends with for about 10 years. She was my best friend. We spent a lot of time together. I did so much for her. Her emergencies became my priorities. Her problems became my problems. But then one day I started paying attention and I started noticing the cracks. She'd never really been there for me. Not once. And when we finally had a falling out after about a decade of friendship, she didn't try to call, not one text, didn't try to fix it, didn't try to talk it out. And that's when it hit me. I had been loyal to a bond that had been one-sided from the start. And sometimes the person that you are fighting the hardest to keep is the one that you should have released a long time ago. And here's another thing. We use time as emotional handcuffs. And we stay in these connections just because of the time that we have invested. That's the sunk cost fallacy. The belief that because you have already invested so much that you have to stay. But if what you have invested in is draining you, that's not loyalty, that's self-abandonment. And your time is not a down payment for disrespect in any form. And you do not owe anybody continued access to you just because they've been around for a long time. I don't care who it is. You deserve relationships that make you feel safe in your body, that clap at your wins, and that make you feel like you can finally exhale. So when someone starts minimizing your joy, shooting down your ideas, or making you question your worth, do not chase them. Do not try to explain. Do not try to negotiate your worth. Cut them the fuck off. If I had been the version of myself that I am now Back then, I would have cut off so many more people. With ease. Get the fuck out. And we have to start training ourselves, especially as women, to get the absolute ick if somebody has the audacity to hurt us, to disrespect us, or minimize our light. If that man cheats, or lies about his intentions, or plays in your face, let him go. Let him go and be somebody else's problem. Because if he can do that, it is clear, it is very clear that they have an undiscovered, therefore undiagnosable and untreatable mental illness. Send him back to his ugly ass mama and let it be her problem. Wish her luck. That is not your burden to fix or carry. You are not his rehab. You are the reward. And remind yourself of that daily. Lie to yourself if you have to, because it's true. Look at the people in your life right now, because the people that you keep around yourself are a mirror, and they are a reflection of how you actually feel about yourself. And if you're surrounded by people who drain or dismiss you or disrespect you, it's time to ask yourself, what part of me thinks that this is okay? Detach from the emotion for a second and ask, do I even like these people anymore? Do I even like this person anymore? Or am I just coasting on history and afraid to admit that the connection has expired? We have to stop romanticizing past versions of people. And we need to stop trying to force compatibility where growth has created distance. I'm sure you've heard people say people come for a reason, a season, or to stay. And your peace is going to be dependent on knowing which is which. So maybe it's time that we all stop confusing history with destiny. You can still love people deeply and release them with grace. And you can also be grateful for the lesson without reopening the wound. And the next time someone shows you that they can't meet you where you are, don't take it as rejection, take it as redirection, because that's exactly what it is. Because letting go isn't loss, it's proof that you're growing. All right, guys, thank you for listening. This has been another episode of Rebuild Different. And if this episode hit home for you, share it with somebody who you feel is holding on to something that might already be gone. Until next time, protect your peace, trust your growth, and remember, sometimes closure is just you choosing yourself. See you guys next week.